This video's random fact is, Mexico is one of several countries that can make nuclear bombs but choose not to. The more you know. Now really quickly, before I start today's video, I would like to tell you guys where I've been, because you guys know last week was kind of a rocky week for the channel. I didn't upload every single day. I missed a couple of days here and there. The reason I missed a whole bunch of days last week was because that was the release of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and I've been playing the heck out of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Right now, if you look at my Nintendo Switch's play log, I currently have 85 hours into the Nintendo Switch, so you can see I've been playing Smash Bros. Ultimate a ton. This week I should be back to normal, and I should be making videos on a regular basis, because that's not really how I like to fly when it comes to my channel. I usually like to make videos every single day, and I'm usually here quite often, so I won't be neglecting my channel this week at all. Videos should be rolling out like normal. Well, anyway, on to the video. Anyway, guys, when it comes to the classic consoles, you guys know Nintendo released the NES Classic and the SNES Classic. Those classic consoles were actually intended to be made to fill the gap between the Wii U's failure and the Nintendo Switch's launch. The NES Classic actually came out around the time that the Wii U was doing bad. It came out at the end of 2016, and as we know, at the end of 2016, fall or winter of 2016, there was really nothing out for Nintendo, whether we're talking about the 3DS or talking about the Wii U. They really didn't have much, and they really wanted to fill that gap for the holidays. That's primarily why they released the NES Classic, so that they can generate more sales that weren't going to be there that holiday. That's the reason they did that. And then that just got so successful, Nintendo was like, that thing's just selling so well, let's go ahead and make an SNES Classic. So Nintendo did indeed make an SNES Classic, and now we have the NES Classic and the SNES Classic, and they're phenomenal systems. Well, it looks like those are coming to an end right now. It has been confirmed by Reggie Fils-Aimé that the Nintendo NES Classic and the SNES Classic are going to be gone after this holiday season. So if you haven't bought your NES Classic and SNES Classic, they're not going to be available on store shelves. Whatever they have in stock at retailers right now for the holidays, that's pretty much going to be it. But to be honest, they weren't really intended to last this long on the market, and they've been out a fairly long time. So if you haven't got your hands on any of the classic consoles from Nintendo, it's really your fault, since they've been on the market so long, and they were intended, like I said, to be on the market a little bit shorter than what they planned. They just sold so well that Nintendo decided to keep them on the market. But if you want to go ahead and get your NES Classic or your SNES Classic, now's the time to do it, unless you want to wait years later and go to sites like eBay and go to third-party things on the internet and pay scalping prices and pay collector's prices for these things. Then I highly suggest you do this, because this is the last time you're going to be able to get those consoles. I actually hope after Nintendo actually discontinues the NES Classic and the SNES Classic, I actually hope Nintendo does at least go through with the N64 Classic, because I know there is a lot of rumors around there floating around that an N64 Classic may be happening. I know Reggie kind of said that thing wasn't going to happen at all. He kind of said they have no plans for that thing and whatnot. But you know, Nintendo, if they were going to do one, they're not going to come out and say, yes, we're doing an NES N64 Classic. They're going to keep that under the rug, and they're going to hide that, so that when they do announce it, it'll be more surprising and things like that. But a lot of people would buy the N64 Classic. I know if they do ever release an N64 Classic, if you look at the prices of the NES and SNES Classic, the NES Classic was $60 and the SNES Classic was $80. This thing's going to be probably around the price of the PS1 Classic. I would imagine at $100 or even over $100. I can even see that thing being like $105, $110 for the N64 Classic, just because the quality of the games are much more better than the SNES Classic, and a lot of those games are some of the best games of all time. We would be talking about games like Super Mario 64, Super Smash Bros., Ocarina of Time, which we all know a lot of people swear by it being the best game ever made in the gaming industry. And if they're to put some of the best games ever made on an N64 Classic, they would really have to charge a premium for that console. But I hope it's not the end of these classic consoles from Nintendo, because these are just a brilliant idea to take a small box that's pretty much a plug-and-play plug-and-play box. You plug it into your TV through HDMI, and it pretty much has all the games loaded onto them, and you don't really have to do any work like a Raspberry Pi or any third-party solutions if you want to go those routes. These are pretty much just for the average or casual consumer that just want to play old retro school games on their HD TV. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Anyway, this is Wayne from MyTech News, signing out.